Hello and welcome to Canadian Critics. I'm your host, Carolyn Dorothy. I'm back after a month. It's been kind of a hectic month, but I've got two books for you that I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm also going a little bit more lo-fi on my laptop just for ease. The background's a bit different. This is my apartment. My flag that you've seen in other videos is up there, but this is a more natural view, so I hope you don't mind. The first book I want to tell you about is by Mehler Paperny, and it's called Hello, I Want to Die, Please Fix Me. Depression in the First Person. So I loved this book. It kind of felt like everything that you can say about mental health care in Canada, like from a frustrated user perspective, Anna really addresses in this book. But she does so in a way. She's a trained journalist for Reuters, I believe she works now, but she really takes it's about her own personal journey with depression and with suicide attempts and with navigating the mental health system, but she really gives it like a full journalistic workover and is like, okay, I'm going to explore why the system is so broken in Canada. I'm going to call up the experts. I'm going to get their opinion. She discusses the latest in research for new drugs to treat depression. She asks about like the weirdest, most extreme types of treatments for depression that you may have never even heard of, and kind of questions the people who are giving these treatments, like what is the effect that this has, how useful is this, how far are we from a breakthrough to help combat depression, which affects a lot of people worldwide, but in Canada as well. So I found it, in some parts it was a little bit hard to understand when she's talking to the experts, like for like neuroscience and neurosurgery and stuff like that. It can get a little bit dense. But I think she did a really good job of making it easily accessible for the average person to be able to read and to understand a little bit more about how the health system works in Canada. She's based in Toronto, so her own experiences are with the Ontario provincial system, and it's different from province to province, but she really does give a wide view of mental health care in the country. So I think it's really important read. I think people who are going through experiences with depression would really benefit from reading this, especially if you're Canadian and you're trying to deal with mental health care, because she talks a lot about how to deal with professionals as well as like stigma that you can experience from professionals, and like how to kind of troubleshoot your way through the system of care and how to advocate for yourself to get the best care. So highly recommended. I really loved reading this. It was also really fun to read at the bus stop and have people be like, what are you reading? And you're like, hello, I want to die, please fix me. So I liked that. The second book I want to recommend, another nonfiction book, another memoir about mental illness, mental health struggles. This one is from Alicia, Elliot. It's called A Mind Spread Out on the Ground. So Alicia Elliot is Haudenosaunee. She's First Nations, but her mother is a white woman and her father is Indigenous. So she also addresses the state of being mixed and what that means and how that affects her experience of living in an Indigenous community. She thinks she lived on Six Nations territory in Ontario, and also what it means, like being able to almost pass or navigate as white, and then kind of being able to spring your identity as a way that might surprise people who might not expect you to look a certain way if you are Indigenous, which was interesting. It goes into like, what does Indigenousness look like? And she has, so it's written in a series of essays, and I really enjoyed the essay about Susan Sontag, Sontag and Snapshots, kind of an updated essay on Sontag's famous on photography that was published in the 70s, and that is really widely read, especially in undergraduate arts programs, academic settings, stuff like that. So she kind of used that essay as a base to explore depictions and representations of Indigenous peoples from the earliest photographs until today, to kind of be like, you know, you don't know what there is no kind of one size fits all look for being Indigenous, and what does it mean if you don't necessarily fit into people's preconceived ideas of what that looks like. So that I found that really interesting. There's also a good tie-in actually with reading Hello, I Want to Die, Please Fix Me, which was more of a generalized take, although it was personal to the author. But this one is a bit more specific, I would say, in addressing how trauma and histories of abuse and racism and residential schools have really affected the author and her own mental health, kind of in a cause-effect way, more so than Hello, I Want to Die, Please Fix Me was kind of an abstracted take on like when depression strikes kind of out of the blue. In A Mind Spread Out on the Ground, you can really see how external factors have led or exacerbated mental health issues that may have already existed, but were certainly made worse by government policies towards Indigenous people. So yeah, these two nonfiction books, highly recommended. If you still have some summer vacation left and you want to spend them having some happy time, positive, upbeat books to read, then I would definitely recommend these, especially Hello, I Want to Die, Please Fix Me for your next beach read. Please read it on the beach. So yeah, next I'll be looking at The Lost Sister by Andrea Gunraj. So I'll post on Facebook and Instagram when that review is up. Link to Facebook and Instagram accounts at Can Critics are both down below. I'll also post links to the long written blog form posts of Hello, I Want to Die, Please Fix Me, and A Mind Spread Out on the Ground. So you can see those below as well. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.